You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started.
What is going on, gents? It's R.P.M. here, reporting from Mobile Command. Gentlemen, as you know, the articles and videos of the squatters and the unfortunate things that are happening to the owners of said properties is going nationwide. Now, of course, you have what happened up in New York with the woman who was arrested even though she had a deed to the property. Going to talk about that one. And unfortunately, the woman who was brutally offlined in her own apartment when she happened upon squatters, when she came back, they actually stole her car and ended up crashing it a couple of states away. Gentlemen, this article that I'm going to share with you, I hope there are more incidents like this that happen. Now, this article was published on the 19th of March. Vigilantes show up to evict squatters at Queen's home where the owner was arrested as neighbors revealed 3 people had been living there for free and carrying out work inside. Yeah. Vigilantes. I'm at the point now with everything that's been happened. Lake and Riley, these unfortunate homeowners, the viral video, of some illegal saying, yes, invade these American homes. Yeah, I'm at the point to where I have zero problems with street justice. Zero. Now, for all of my movie buffs out there, there's a movie out there called The Hateful Eight. And there's a particular scene where Eli Roth breaks down the difference between justice and frontier justice. It is an absolutely great scene. However, like I said, I'm all for vigilante justice now. Why? Because the crooked politicians and the utterly incompetent, or should I say, the utterly programmed police of today, yeah, the law-abiding citizen has no recourse. They're still trying to operate under the moral clause. Yes, I'm going to try to do this morally. I'm going to try to do this the right way. Unfortunately, the current system that we have now completely protects the criminal. So now, yeah, hopefully more of the citizenry will take matters into their own hands. 2 vigilantes showed up to evict 3 brazen squatters who are living at a New York City home after its owner was arrested after she tried to remove them. Adele Andaloro inherited her family's home located in Flushing, Queens, but she was left aghast when squatters moved into her childhood home last month. Andaloro confronted the squatters herself and was subsequently arrested when one of the men inside called the police on her for changing the locks. Now, I have to give Miss Andaloro a little bit of smoke. Why? Because if she had a husband that was able to accompany her when she went to the property, things would have turned out a whole lot different. Why? Because as you see in the video, After the squatters are removed, 2 of them ran back into the house while she was there. If she had a husband that was there with, let's just say, a baseball bat, things would have turned out a whole lot different. The furious homeowner, who had been in the process of selling the home, said, quote unquote, "I'm really fearful that these people are going to get away with stealing my home." She also shared her fear that by the time authorities look into the matter, it may be more than 30 days since they moved in. Crucially, squatters in New York have rights after occupying a residence for more than a month. That is abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous. According to neighbors, the unruly squatters have been seen and heard carrying out home renovations inside the Queen's property. On Tuesday afternoon, 2 men pulled their black truck into the driveway of Andaloro's home looking for the brazen occupants. Quote unquote, "We are looking to get this guy out," said the unidentified man, who appeared agitated and was dressed in a black Trump t-shirt. He said, "I'm here to talk to him." Now, why was it necessary for them to say that the man was dressed in a black Trump shirt? That right there was completely unneeded. I want to see why he is here. One of the neighbors on the block who saw what transpired said, "Holy crap," and said she had no idea that the squatter issue was causing so much backlash. Many of the neighbors were baffled by the ordeal and say they want to know how the squatters gained access into the house in the first place. Quote unquote, "It's disgusting," one person said, who mentioned that he has seen one of the squatters walking around outside. He added sarcastically, quote unquote, "I wish I could live rent-free." Others who live on the street complained that what's happening to the owner is, quote unquote, "unfair," as one local called the squatters, quote unquote, "sons of bitches." Now, I'm going to go into detail as to why the neighbors are the way that they are. And believe you me, gentlemen, I'm going to tie that into feminism. Hold on to your butts for how I break that down. Many neighbors living on the street said they wanted to help the owner as much as possible to get the squatters out, and said that they were keen to sign a petition. You don't need to sign a petition. And I'm going to explain why and how vigilantes would be way more effective. According to locals, Andaloro was living in the house with her daughter and mom. When her mother passed away a few years ago, she stayed in the house and rented out the basement to an older man and his dog, who was said to be a beloved member of the community. Keyword, gentlemen, community. When the man moved out of state, Andaloro put the house on the market. The 2-story home that sits on a quiet street in the Whitestone Flushing border, estimated value is more than $1.2 million, according to Homes.com. A woman who appeared to be living in the home would not answer the door after several attempts were made, but earlier in the day told a source that she doesn't know what's going on and said she's a roommate in the home. The same woman, hours later, had ordered takeout that was delivered to the home at around 6:30 p.m. She opened the door to pay for the order, but soon slammed it shut soon after. Well, Well. Okay. First off, the signing of the petition, how that's going to be moot, and how, in my humble opinion, the true vigilantes would operate. See, now, first and foremost, those two guys, they showed up in the daytime. That right there was wrong. Period, point blank. They were able to get their faces captured. Once again, wrong way to do business. Now, let me just paint a scenario. Let's just say the community. Well, let's go ahead and first break down why the community is actually ineffective and how I'm going to tie that into feminism. First and foremost, what was feminism's main goal? Destruction of the nuclear family. Yeah. And if you want to see just how effective that was, look at the American Black community. Yeah. Men, women pitted against each other. Guess what? That does not form what? Family. Family is the cornerstone of community. Now, when you have a functional community, the men of said community have no problems protecting said community. Oh yeah, guess what? We don't have that anymore. No more nuclear families, no more communities, no more men to stand up for said communities. And I'm going to throw in another fact. Charlie 19. Yeah. Charlie 19 and the Summer of Love, that completely destroyed any other formation of actual communities. Why? Because guess what? Masked versus unmasked. Vaxxed versus unvaxxed. You had literal families splitting up because of that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Simple breakdown. Now back to the vigilante part, or should I say the vigilante scenario. Let's just say Miss Andaloro is actually able to talk with some men in the community. They say, okay, you know what? We're going to handle this. Those men, what they would do, they would actually come in under the cover of darkness. They would be wearing ski masks, all black. They would ask her first permission to actually break into the property, or should I say, gain access to her house. She would say, okay. And then she'd turn her back, take care of it. Now, those men would gain access under the cover of darkness. They'd be quiet. They'd sneak through the house. They'd identify everybody in there. They would have flashlights. And it would be a 2 to 3 to 1 ratio. They'd surveil the property, figure out how many squatters were there. If there was 3 squatters, there'd be 9 men from the neighborhood. They'd get in there. They'd have it coordinated. They'd flash the person, wake them up, give them one stern warning. You need to be out of this property. And if they try to get froggy, some pain would be applied. Just a little bit. Maybe a kneecap or a broken finger. Something relatively small. Let them know. If we come back here and you're still here, things are going to go even further. Yeah. See, that's how true vigilantism work. Those guys that showed up, yeah, no, Hopefully, that type of vigilantism will start happening. Why? Because, I'm going to reiterate, the way that the incompetent, or should I say utterly corrupt politicians and bootlicking, thugs, aka the cops, they're not out for the law-abiding citizen. Oh, no. They want to protect the criminal. So guess what? There's another quote from the movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Sometimes, in order to uphold justice, you have to break the law. Believe you me, with the way things are going, there will be more vigilantism that's going to happen. There will be more street justice because the citizenry is tired. They're fed up. They've watched the country literally be invaded. For what? Yeah. The whole Tyson Foods debacle. Yeah. This goes right back to the video that I did called Open Treason Against U.S. Citizens. Yeah. So guess what? More and more people are going to take matters into their own hands. So yeah. Like I said, I hope it happens. Since we all know that the police is not there to actually protect the citizens, then guess what? The citizens, it falls onto you to protect yourself. Hey, if illegals can have guns, guess what? Citizenry, arm yourself. It is what it is. Well, I've rambled on long enough. Read the full article. Let me know what you guys think. And for you criminals out there, you need to understand something. The power of fear that you believe that you're going to continue to wield over the law-abiding citizen, that's going to go out. The idea that the citizenry will never actually rise up, yeah, that thought process is going out right along with it. Because trust and believe, there will become more street justice and more mobs that are going to take matters into their own hands. Where the hell is Paul Kersey when you need him? That's all I got to say for this one. R.P.M. I am